Today, I had no idea really what I wanted to do at first. I did scroll on Pinterest. All I knew that I wanted to do was make a fun Halloween fall type of blanket. And there were some cute ideas, but they weren't exactly what I was looking for in my mind. After some contemplation, I came along Betty McKnit's pattern for the 6-day star blanket. She has a video tutorial and she also has a written pattern on her page. I'm gonna link both of them down in the description box in case you guys want to do this pattern as well. It is a very popular trend though going on. However, I have not seen people make it in a Halloween-esque type pattern. So I ended up using the Hirschner's yarn. This was the pack that I got. It has 4 different value yarns in it. It normally retails for $28.96, but right now it is on sale for $18.99, and it is still currently on sale as the time that I'm filming and editing this video. So yeah, if you guys want to see a fun little crochet vlog with me making this 6-day star blanket, I'm going to time myself and see just how long it takes to make this blanket, and also if I can even get it done in the 6 days. I honestly was actually really shocked with the process. I'm filming this obviously after the fact of it, and I actually am really surprised with the result. I love the way the blanket came out, but if you guys want to see how long it took for me to make this blanket, just continue watching. So here we are. It is currently July 23rd and we're starting the process of preparing for this blanket. This is the worsted pack from Hirschner's that I probably have already talked about in this video. I only have one of them out so far. I do have 2 of these packs, and then I have a third of just this multicolor, but I'm going to be using the black big twist yarn incorporated with it as well. I do think though that this yarn is a little bit thicker than this yarn, but we're just gonna go with it. A lot of time has finally passed that I know what I'm doing. We're gonna be making a 6-day star blanket, but make it with Halloween colors. Found the pattern that I want to use. Look how beautiful this is. Like even right here, like with just the colors like of Halloween, it's gonna look so adorable. Real quick, we'll just go over the colors in case you guys want to make this like exact blanket. So this green shade is called Emerald. This beautiful orange shade that really reminds me of pumpkins and Halloween is called Blaze. This like deep purple color is called Eggplant, and then this beautiful Celebrate yarn that I love. I was originally just going to get this yarn, but when I wanted to get it, they were sold out, and the only way to get it was with the big party pack last year, and this is called Halloween. I think I've never crocheted with the Hirschner's yarn before, but I have bought a lot of their yarn. I just have never used them. But they have an easy pull tab on every single one of these skeins. I don't want to obviously pull it out just yet, but it makes it extremely easy to just pull it right out and then start working. And like I said, I have about like 3 or 4 of these big twist value yarns that are just in the shade black. Very staple, very easy. I always love working with this yarn because it's really soft. Hirschner's yarn is not as soft, and actually right here you can kind of tell. So see how this is kind of thin and very much just a strand? The big twist is more thicker, which is, it's kind of hard to tell, I think, especially because of how I'm trying to film it. These 2 yarns are a little bit thicker. I think you can tell this back one is the Hirschner's and then this one's the big twist, obviously. I am also going to be timing myself to see how long it takes to make this blanket, because it is supposed to take 6 days, but 6 days for any normal person is going to, you know, it's going to vary depending on how much time you have, whether you're working at a job or if you have some time off, or just your level and your speed of crocheting. And I don't know what I wanted to start with. Initially, I was like, oh, I'm just going to make the center black and then work off of it. But I think using this color would be really cute to do that with. But I don't know. I'm probably going to play around with it. I've currently done 6 rows, and can we just talk about how beautiful this works up? Like, this just screams Halloween to me. I almost want to do just the whole blanket like this, but we're not going to do that. 6 rows in total with the 5.5 millimeter, and I'm going to go ahead now and size up to the 6.5, because if you look at it, it is starting to curl a little bit. If I stretch on it, it will flatten back out, but I don't want any chances. So I'm going to go size up to the 6.5 and continue working on it. But I'm also going to change my color, I think, as well, because this is already a decent size for the middle. A little quick update. I know it's going to be a little hard to see. I just turned off my lights because I have a severe headache, but this is where we are at so far. So I did the 9 rows and now I'm going on to the second round. It's really confusing, but if you have made this, then you understand what I mean. Currently, I have an hour and 4 minutes on the timer. So technically this is like our 1 hour update, and this is as far as it's gotten. But obviously, since you're starting from the center, the more you work out, the longer it's going to take. But the rows are honestly really easy. There's like the granny square stitch and some single crochets and double crochet. That's basically all this is. So I just finished the green row. I'm going to do one more black row around it, and then I'm going to go back to this crazy mishmash color and do a row of that, and then just continue to work. But instead of just doing like this, doing the purple, orange, and green, I'm gonna mix match them. So sometimes I'll do like the opposite way, or I'll mix and match it, just so that it kind of stays with that whole crazy concept. And also, I didn't realize what row was gonna be what, so this is kind of giving carrot vibes, and that was not what I was intending. I was intending it to kind of be more pumpkin-y, but it's giving carrot. But once the black goes in and we start growing the rows, I'm hoping I'm not going to notice it. A little bit of an update. So it's been a little bit later. We're now about 2.5 hours into making the blanket, and this is what we have. I am loving it, but I did mess up with how I wanted to do my colors, because I wanted the crazy colors here, black, the 3 colors, black, and then I wanted to do this crazy yarn. But instead I somehow continued and did another row with the 3 colors, which is fine, honestly. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll do like maybe 2 or 3 rows with the crazy yarn to help like represent the middle of it. But I did mess up from my initial plan. However, like once it's coming together some more, yeah, sure, the carrot thing is still a little relevant, but it cohesively makes more sense now. I really like it. I love this idea of doing the star blanket, but doing it with these colors. They just match so perfectly together. For just a little over 2.5 hours, the fact that this is all gotten done is really cool. I'm also going to keep track of how many skeins of yarn that I use, just in case you guys want to know as well. For the most part, I'm going to end up having to stop here tonight to make some dinner, and my boyfriend's going to go to bed soon. And since I'm using like darker yarn, I want to make sure that I can actually see my stitches. So if I do crochet anymore, we'll pick this back up tomorrow for day 2. Needless to say, I look crazy because I just woke up. Last night I was very productive with crocheting. I ended up crocheting for a total of 6 hours. That was not what was supposed to happen, but I am absolutely loving the way that it's going so far. So here is a point of the star. I did 6 rows with this colored yarn, so then there's 3 rows, because you do like a startup round that consists of 9 rows, and then you repeat the 2 through 7 from this granny stitch green row to this black round. That is a like round of work. And then so then I did another one, so I'm on the 3rd one right now. We're gonna continue going because I want to make it like a throw size blanket. I definitely don't think I want it to be extremely enormous, but we'll see what happens because I still have a really decent amount of yarn left. Keep in mind that the colors, like the Halloween colors, are all almost 500 grams. I think they're 497 grams of yarn, and then the black that I have is, I'm not 100% sure. We will tally that up at the end, but it is definitely smaller. It almost isn't, well, I mean, it is giving Halloween, but it's giving me like a Mandela almost, like those kind of vibes. But I'm really enjoying it so far. The only reason I stopped last night was because my hands were hurting, and also I couldn't see really well, so I was kind of messing up a little bit, and then I had to go back in my work because I was crocheting in the dark, quite actually, besides the light into our closet, because my boyfriend was sleeping because he had to go to work. So I also have to work later today, but I work like a really like late shift, so we have plenty of time still to crochet. I say I just woke up, but it's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the only reason I woke up was because I set an alarm to get up to watch the Eras tour. We're gonna crochet, we're gonna watch the Eras tour, and it's just gonna be a fun little time. I don't know how much we'll get done today. I'm just gonna count it as 6 hours. It's 30 seconds away from being at the 6 hour mark. So we're gonna say for day 1, 6 hours completed, and you guys saw how much I did. I weaved in all my ends for like the rows with like the single crochets and the double crochets. I just crocheted over them as I went. In the pattern, in her video, she kind of talks about how she doesn't like doing that, but I'm lazy, so that's what we're gonna do. The only ones I didn't weave in are the center ones, so that I know 100% which side is which. I'll do that at the end. And then also this last green row of single crochet also still has its tail not woven in, because I'm gonna crochet over it when we start the double crochet row. I'm gonna try to do the lap thing, so every day I can keep track of how many hours I'm crocheting, and then we'll still have the full total, but we'll see what happens. Tell me how an Eras tour show later, I did 2 hours and 17 minutes, and all I've gotten done is this much of the blanket. That is crazy. And I was going fast too. Like, I was trying to pay attention to the Eras tour, because the Eras tour obviously, but I was like really wanting to get a lot done while watching the show, and that's like not very much. Like, it's hard to see right now because I don't have the lights on, because I don't want to get another headache like yesterday. But like, I started this orange row, did a black row, did my 2 rows of the multi, and then 1 row of the black again, and that took a little over 2 hours. I do, however, know that it's gonna take a while to make this, because obviously when you start in the center, it's gonna go by quicker, but now as the days start going on and the hours start going on that I'm working on it, the outside perimeter is just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, the first round took me 30 minutes because it was like the single crochet, and then like the double crochet rows don't take as long, and the cluster ones don't take very long, but those single crochet rows feel like they take forever. So I kind of messed up just a little bit on one of my rows. So here's a sign that if you're doing this blanket, watch your stitch counting, because the one time I did not count my stitches, and I was doing one of the single crochet rows, and I accidentally put too many in the like down part. So this part is up and then down and the back up, right? So in the down part, I put 1 too many single crochets into that down part. Now here the problem is that I can't just skip 2 stitches and go into the next one. I had to skip 3, and so it looks really weird. And so what I had to do instead was skip 2 and then do a double crochet of 2 together, so it's only 1 loop, so that way when I do the next row and I have to skip 2 stitches, it will line back up. When you look from a distance, you can't tell. Like, you will not be able to tell that that's a problem. I did pause my timer when I went back and redid it, so that way it'll still be really accurate, even though for me it's going to take a little bit longer. If you were to recreate the blanket, it wouldn't take you that extra time, obviously, because you didn't make the mistake that I did. Well, I definitely worked on it last night. It's now day 3, but I wanted to show you the progress of day 2, which this is crazy. Like, I can't even get the whole thing in frame. I'll stand up in a minute and hold it up to show you guys, but this is crazy for 2 days of work. I haven't done any crocheting today. Yesterday on the timer, I actually did 4 hours and 44 minutes. So when I got home, I actually did end up crocheting some more, because I really wanted to work on this project. I love how it's turning out. And in total, I've been crocheting for 11 hours and 43 minutes, which the fact that this blanket, because this is huge, okay? Just this part is the size of my hand. This is almost the size of my full-size bed. This is hanging off the bed. That up there is hanging as well. And then that's all that's really left of my bed. You're gonna have to bear with me because I just woke up, so I know I look crazy. But I wanted to show the blanket. This, I can't even get the whole thing in frame. I am really tall though. I'm like 5'10" or something, and I do want this to be like a decent size blanket. I've already started the 5th round, which is what this is. which would only have a couple more rows. I think I'm gonna do a whole nother round. We're not even on to day 3 yet, and I do want to get to crochet some today. I thought we were gonna at least crochet till Friday. Today is Thursday. Still only gonna be like 4 days or something. And then I'm gonna go to the movies actually with my boyfriend to see the new Long Legs movie. I thought it would be fun to take you guys with me to go see the movie after I crocheted a blanket. I did change my shirt back to the one I wore yesterday. We're not going to talk about it. I just really love wearing this shirt when I'm laying around the house. So we're going to ignore that. Betty McKnit's pattern that she has is very, very easy. The only thing I will say is that counting is going to become your best friend for a while with this. But then once you get going, it's very repetitive, but it's not repetitive where it's boring, because again, you're doing multiple different stitches and it looks kind of complicated for a beginner, but all it is the granny stitch, which is the 3 double crochets, single crochet, and then just regular double crochets. But it's extremely mindless, and what's crazy about it is I was like, I'm gonna make this blanket and I'm gonna watch a bunch of horror movies, and then I can talk to you guys about the horror movies that I was gonna like watch while making this. I haven't watched any of them though. All I've done is just sit and crochet and count my like stitches as I go, which I hate doing most of the time. Or I've been watching other people make these blankets. I've been going back and re-watching people's videos because I just don't know what else to watch. I was gonna do Halloween like spooky movies, but I feel like I would get too engaged in the movie and then not be able to work. But that might also be why it's only taken me almost 12 hours to make this, because my thought that went through my head is, it's horrible, not horrible, but it's a little too close to the sun with this one. But my thought process was, if timing myself it takes less than 24 hours to make this blanket, which obviously it does, that I might do another one where I try to crochet it in 24 hours, like in a day of 24 hours, like straight crocheting. That's a stupid idea, but I think it'd make a fun video idea. We're gonna go. I'm kind of sad for the blanket to be over. I think that's why I'm stalling, because I only have 4 more rows until it would technically be complete, but I'm gonna do a whole nother one, so I have 10 rows left to do. If I don't do an extra border added onto it, I don't know, we'll see. I need to quit stalling. I've been sitting here for almost 15 minutes talking. Yeah. I'm gonna go weave in my ends and do all that. Oh, I never even said that either. So my 11 hours and 43 minutes that's on the timer, this is only the time that I'm like physically crocheting. There was a little bit of time where I was like more focused on watching the Eras tour and things like that. And I also was crocheting in the dark a lot of the time, so it was taking a slower amount of time to see what I was doing, but it also is weaving in my ends. I've been going kind of as I go. I kind of went back and forth with her video and reading the pattern, so I kind of took inspiration from both of those things. By the time that I like started to get the pattern down, I kind of just looked at it myself, because she goes really in detail with everything, which I think is fantastic for beginners. And it is really good because it's helping me learn patterns more, like how to read them. Even though I've been crocheting for a good couple years now, I suck at reading patterns sometimes, most of the time actually. It was fun to get to look at the video and then also look at the pattern as well. Alright, now that I've been rambling, let's go and get started on day 3 of crocheting this blanket. You guys, I'm stupid and I messed up. Right now I am on around 5, and she gives examples on how many stitches up and down there should be, and I've been counting them and they've been off, and I didn't know why they were off by 1 stitch, because it goes in multiples of 6, so it shows 10 for the first one, and then 16, and then 22, 28, so on. She just says etc. after 28, which was my last row down here. So I had to add 6 to 28. Tell me why I thought 28 plus 6 was 33. So it's actually 34. You probably knew that. I apparently did not. So every row here, I haven't done very many, but, well, maybe I have. I don't know, but I've been working on this for a minute. Every row I've been messing up because there's been an extra stitch, and I didn't know why there was an extra stitch because I looked back and all my rows were fine. Turns out I just don't know how to do math. So I paused my timer. I've almost been working on it for an hour, and so I'm gonna keep the timer paused. I'm going to unravel this row and rework it to right here, and then we'll come back and I'll restart the timer. I decided to look and see just how far I had gotten, and it keeps going all the way to here. So all I had left was basically 2.5 stars left before I was done with the row. But I'm glad I caught it, because if I didn't, then all the other rows were going to be messed up going forward. But that just really sucks. Honestly, that took like no time at all. For you guys, it was 2 seconds. For me, it was like maybe 10-15 minutes. I worked all the way back around, frogged it, and now they're all fine. I counted every single stitch, which was a little bit daunting, and I don't really like that, but I had no choice. We're almost on to 13 hours now, and I still have a couple more rows until the actual throw blanket itself would be complete, but I just wanted a little bit bigger for myself. So once we get to the actual throw size blanket, I will let you know how many hours it is, so that way if you just want to make the actual throw size blanket, then you'll know what to do. But if you want to make it as big as me, I'll also show you that as well. Something this blanket is teaching me, though, just bear with the lighting and everything going on for a minute, because I wanted to say that something this blanket is teaching me is that I think I'm a pretty fast crocheter. Either that or the fact that this blanket is just extremely easy, and so I'm making it quickly. Also, I am just very excited about the actual blanket. But the fact that like it's all just like double crochets and stuff, it makes it like really easy. It didn't take very long for me to frog basically an entire row and go back. So I don't know. And the fact that this whole thing took less than 13 hours, just barely shy of 13 hours, is crazy to me. Like, if I wanted to, I could do this in a day. All right, so this is where we're stopping for the day. You probably can't even tell that there's a difference, but I have to get ready for work. So I did, how many rows did I do? Did I really only do 4 rows? Maybe I take back the fast crocheting, because I only did 4 rows in 2 hours and 21 minutes. Where I actually stopped perfectly the length that you're supposed to go for the throw blanket, so I might reconsider. I'll sit on it today, and then tomorrow when we start day 4, I will see if I want to continue. I still am going to put a like ribbing around it type thing. I don't know if I'm going to do single crochet, double crochet, not sure about that just yet, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, if you were going to make this blanket at this size, I'll pop up a little video or something of it at the size that it is. It took 14 hours and 11 minutes to get it to where it is at right now, not including if you're going to do a ribbing on it, which honestly I think it looks fine ending in the single crochet rows. Not bad, not bad, but we're not done yet. We're not done. That's just in case if you wanted to make it this size. I don't think I'm gonna work on this any tonight, but I've said that the last 2 days now, and then I come home and then I do. We'll see if I work on it. I might, we'll see. Hopefully I'm not. I need to give my hands a break, because obviously this is a lot of crocheting. This is the whole blanket in itself. It's very heavy. I've been using it as a blanket while I'm crocheting. I love the fact that I can use it while I'm like still working on it, and it does add up since it is acrylic. But since it is like a Halloween type style, it's more so for like the fall Halloween time anyways. I just love it. I'm gonna keep holding it up because I keep looking at it because it's just so pretty. This concludes day 3, and then tomorrow we'll pick it up for day 4 and finish the ribbing. Tell me how it's the 4th day now. It's the next day from what you just saw. I haven't worked on the blanket at all. Went to work last night, got home, was extremely tired, but didn't want to go to sleep. Slept for 2 hours, woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and then didn't go back to bed. Took a nap a couple hours ago, and now it's like 5:30 and I have to get ready to go see the movie. I was supposed to crochet this, and then it was gonna be like, oh fun, let's go to the movies after. I'm really excited. I think I already told you guys that I'm going to see the Long Legs movie with my boyfriend, which is supposed to be like the scariest movie of all time or something like that. I'm gonna get ready, and then we're gonna go see the movie. Then we're gonna come home and we're gonna do some late night crocheting, and we're gonna finish the blanket hopefully today, but we'll see. Just kidding. So actually I am gonna crochet some. I already kind of started. I did my makeup. I finished it a little bit early, and I don't want to get dressed yet because I still have like 20 minutes till I would need to get dressed. And I don't know if I'm the only person who does this, but I will put off getting ready until the last second. I'll do my makeup sometimes at a decent time, but you will not see me putting on clothes to like go out until I'm leaving out the door, because I like staying in comfy clothes. But I'm gonna work for like maybe 20 minutes on this before we go to the movie, and then we're gonna go. I feel like I haven't done any b-roll footage. Do people even call it that anymore? B-roll footage? Like footage of me like just crocheting and put like some aesthetic music behind it. But I don't know, like, do people actually like want to see that? Do you guys want to see that? Or do you just want to see like the project being done? Today, this is right now, so I like lapse them for every single day. So today I've done 22 minutes and 15 seconds, but overall it's been 14 hours and 33 minutes. In case you were curious how much I got done in those 22 minutes, this is where I'm working from. All I had left was this point and this point, and then work my way down back to here where I started. So I almost did the whole round in 22 minutes. Something that's not so good though is the fact that I am almost running out of the black yarn, but I do have more of the big twist yarn. I actually have some right there that I was using on my project, so I'm probably just going to use that instead once this is done, because I might be able to win yarn chicken, but I highly doubt it. So yeah, I'm gonna go get dressed and then we're gonna go to the movie. Tell me how that movie was not scary. Let me explain a little bit on that, because this isn't really the point of the video, but that was not the scariest movie ever made. That's horrible lighting, but basically not the scariest movie ever. It was definitely something, and I did really enjoy it. But it's one of those like psychological thrillers. I wore my Scream shirt and I got compliments on it, and it was cute and fun. And I wore my little Guts necklace because instead of going to the concert, because I had no money for tickets, we went to the movie instead, and we still had a fun time. I was going to film, like I literally pulled out my phone to film, but for some reason today is the 26th of July, and I forgot that the new Deadpool Wolverine movie comes out today, and they were completely packed, lined up outside of the building. And this is a little local theater, keep in mind. It was insane. Very crazy. We got there 30 minutes early, and we barely sat down with like 5 minutes to spare because there was just so many lines to go through. We would get like popcorn and drinks and stuff, one, to save money, and two, just because there was like so many people. We were kind of overwhelmed because I have really bad social anxiety. My boyfriend has really bad social anxiety, so it was just a lot going on. I thought I would just kind of throw it in here since it's horror Halloween related. So Long Legs, long story short, my review is that no, it's not the scariest film ever made. I've also seen a good amount of horror movies. I have a lot more still to see, but it was good. I will say that. It was probably like a 4.5 star territory because of the visuals and how everything is just very well played out. I don't know how I feel about the ending result, but it was still good regardless. Now, however, I am gonna start working on the blanket a little bit. I am very tired, but we're going to continue working on it. And my yarn chicken was very unsuccessful. The black is actually not made up of most of the cardigan, but that is the first thing that got used up the most. It did have less yards than the other colors. The other colors are still they're more deflated now, but they're not used up all the way by any means at all whatsoever. I'm gonna continue working on the blanket, and my goal is to finish it tonight. If we can complete the blanket in 4 days when it's supposed to take 6, plus on top of it, the fact that I'm extending it by another section, I will consider this 100% a win. I'm already kind of considering it a win. You guys have seen this blanket 100 times now in this video, but I'm just so proud of the color scheme of it. I mean, obviously I didn't come up with the color scheme, it came in a pack. This was where I left off when it came to what I did earlier. So I did 32 minutes. We're almost at the 15-hour mark, but we're also almost complete. It shouldn't take more than maybe, I'm gonna say I can get the blanket done definitely before 20 hours. 100% on that. Maybe 18. I'm gonna go to this all at 18 hours. Definitely done by 20 hours, but I'm gonna aim for 18. Technically it's now day 5, but yesterday on day 4 I did finish the blanket. So real quickly, I just wanted to go over the stats and everything of the blanket, how long it took, how many days it took, which you kind of already know that, but we're gonna go over all of it and we're gonna show the final product. This blanket, all in all, took 18 hours and 27 minutes, which is crazy, honestly, that I got it done that quickly. I think it's because the fact that I have such loose tension and I've used a 6.5mm hook, and also, like I said before, the stitches are just really simple. Day 1 we worked for 5 hours and 59 minutes. Day 2 was 5 hours and 50 minutes. Day 3 was only 2 hours and 21 minutes. Day 4, which was yesterday, was 4 hours and 15 minutes. That is really crazy. I'm so proud of the way that the blanket came out. The fact that it is like the perfect size to be a little bit of an oversized lap/throw blanket, I really enjoy it. And this is just the start of my little series, kind of. It's not really a series, but a selection of videos on my channel that I want to do this year, where I have my Halloween and fall related crochet vlogs. So I'm already starting today on the second one, which is going to be a bunch of wall decor, tapestry, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that video, but I hope you guys enjoyed and that you will comment, like, subscribe, the stuff you guys already know how to do. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys all in my next video.